So my book is The Sleep Book by Dr. Guy Meadows, as it says on the cover. The goal of reading this book is to help me attain better sleeping habits at night, something I struggle with greatly. How to properly schedule yourself and different habits to get into. And the book mainly goes into the different steps of how to find the source of what's causing you to not get a lot of sleep and what's making it so hard for you to get to sleep when you do have the chance, and basically finding the problem and then giving steps on how to fix these problems. And that's my goal, is to try to fix my sleep schedule so that I can sleep better at night and not fall asleep in class. So conveniently enough for me, this book is actually split into 5 sections meant to be read over the course of 5 weeks. Knowing this, I will be just kind of following that structure that the book has laid out for me. The first week explains mostly on how to identify the things that are making it difficult for you to sleep. Mostly that, and things to basically not try, things that might seem helpful, or things that to avoid when trying different sleep measures, things like sleep medications and different things to try to that normally you would think would help you, tells you what to avoid. And so my first week is going into my first week's identifying these distractions and trying to figure out what is causing this. So I have narrowed down what I think are at least the main causes of my sleep deprivation. For me, it's mostly stress from school and work, which I can't really fix, but I can fix my electronics use, as I am addicted to my phone and video games and movies. I will, about an hour or so before I try to go to bed, I will cut all that stuff out and turn it all off, so it's not a distraction. Lack of activity is a big one for me. I'm very lazy, and I don't like to do stuff when I get home. And instead of doing stuff, I will take naps, which is also not good because it messes up your internal clock. Which then you've gotten 3 hours of sleep during the day, and then you try to go to sleep at night and you're not tired, which is not healthy. So I'm going to stop taking naps during the day. I don't know how to film that part. Hey, would you look at this? I'm coming home from school and not gonna take a nap. The book recommends getting exercise. Not right before bed in an attempt to tire yourself out. It says this can be effective, but also can be very ineffective, and then you're just exhausted at night and still can't sleep. It recommends getting exercise because it will increase your natural drive to sleep if you do it regularly. So I'm going to begin exercising. I'm going to start going to the gym. The book recommends that you should get exercise to help regulate your sleep schedule. So I'm going to start working out. I need to do this. So I've got about an hour before I go to bed. So I'm going to cut off access to all my electronics. Done. I've been having trouble filming weeks 2 and 3 because, week 1 was about practical steps to actually help you maintain and control these things and identifying the causes of your sleep deprivation. Weeks 2 and 3 is mostly about finding a way to cope with it and mental exercises kind of that allow you to better deal with it. And that doesn't make for anything I can really film. There's nothing that I can do with that. I've been repeating the first week steps, the exercise and the like. That has been helping a little bit. I have not been falling asleep in class as much, but I still have some trouble getting to sleep at night. and I can't really film myself, like my thought processes, so I can't really film much of weeks 2 and 3 as it is set in the book. So I'm just going to repeat these steps from the first week and try to improve upon them. So I had the bright idea to try to film this in the morning before I went to school, as a small progress report. Week 4 gets back into things that are more practical for helping with sleep schedules, whereas weeks 2 and 3 was about like accepting your problems and trying to cope with them, which was I couldn't really film that stuff. Week 4 is going back into things like regulating or cutting out caffeine, dropping different habits, getting into different habits, such as actually restricting when you go to bed late. Whereas you would think, oh, if you go to bed earlier, then you'll be able to sleep longer, but if you're having sleep issues like I am, you can just end up lying in bed for way longer than you need to be. So the book recommends actually kind of restricting when you sleep to a reasonable hour. You still need to get a good 6 to 8 hours, but yeah, and also restricting like when you get up, being able to get up on time. So the book recommends having a very strong morning routine, getting up at the same time every morning, resisting the snooze button, which has been extremely hard to do, as it's very tempting, but resist that, have a strong morning routine, get up, and do the same thing. Even if you were up late the previous night and didn't get enough rest, it could do more harm if you risk messing up your internal clock, pushing it forward as you're getting up later. Because one of the main ways to beat sleep deprivation is getting yourself into the same routine every night, and not messing with it, even if something disrupts it in the beginning. It's important to get up at the same time, even if you're not getting the right amount. So I have the same morning routine of getting up. I brush my teeth, hop in the shower, get dressed, get my bag, and then make breakfast, normally something small, yogurt or banana if we have some of that. So it's been very hard to do, but I've been managing to do it. So towards the end of the book, it recommends actually choosing a book to read before you go to bed. Something to read at night. It will allow you to engage your brain, and it'll give you something to do to pass the time and focus on, while still allowing your body to wind down and relax and prepare to go to sleep. I don't know why it doesn't recommend doing this in the first chapters in the beginning of the book. I feel like that would have probably been helpful, but it says to do it at the end, so I chose a book, an old one that I've had that I never got to finish, that I'm going to finish. It's helped a little bit. It's definitely given me something to do, and has been helpful as I'm able to more easily drift off to sleep when the time comes. So yeah. So that was my 30-day project. Overall, I think it did help a little bit. I was able to put myself into better routines. At night, my routine was most of the time, it was very solid. I got to bed at almost the same time every night, and I was actually feeling tired when I was going to bed, whereas before I was just trying to get myself to sleep because I knew I had to get up soon. And in the morning, I have a strict routine that forces me to be awake. So even if I'm tired, I'm not leaving late or rushing out the door because I slept through my alarm, and things like that, which were previously huge problems for me in the morning. There was some difficulties though. For like the second and third weeks, it was there was nothing I could really film. The information that it was giving me was useful, but there's nothing to film. So that made it much more difficult. But, and something I've learned some stuff about how people's in general internal clocks work, and like how your body handles sleep, and I also learned that I should have probably chosen a different topic.